The idea, believe in the behavior, is a powerful reminder that actions often reveal truths that words alone cannot fully carry. As explained by Dr. Julie Smith, when there is a gap between what someone says and what they actually do, behavior tends to hold more weight. Words can be shaped by intention, fear, politeness, or even avoidance, but behavior is lived reality. It shows patterns, priorities, and genuine commitment. Think about a simple example in friendship. Someone might say, "I'm always here for you," but when you go through a difficult time, they rarely check in or make time to listen. On the other hand, another friend might not express themselves as eloquently, but consistently shows up, calls you, or sits quietly with you when you need support. Over time, it becomes clear whose care is more reliable, not because of what they said, but because of what they did. The same applies in professional settings. A manager might promise growth opportunities, recognition, or support, but if their actions don't reflect those promises, if they overlook your efforts or fail to follow through, then their behavior tells you more about the reality of the situation than their words ever could. Conversely, a leader who consistently invests time in mentoring, gives constructive feedback, and acknowledges contributions demonstrates their values through action. However, this idea is not about becoming cynical or assuming the worst in people. In fact, it is balanced by an equally important principle. Assume positive intent. Human behavior is complex. People may act in ways that seem contradictory not because they are dishonest or malicious, but because they are overwhelmed, afraid, distracted, or unsure how to express themselves. For example, imagine someone who cancels plans repeatedly. It might be easy to interpret this as a lack of care or respect. But if you pause and assume positive intent, you might discover they are dealing with anxiety, burnout, or personal challenges they haven't shared. If you immediately label their behavior as hurtful or intentional, you create emotional distance. But if you stay curious instead of judgmental, you keep the door open for understanding. This balance, trusting behavior while assuming positive intent, is where emotional intelligence grows. It allows you to stay grounded in reality without becoming harsh or reactive. You recognize patterns and actions, but you also remain open to context and conversation. In relationships, this might look like saying, "I've noticed that we haven't spent much time together lately, even though you've said you want to. I'd really like to understand what's going on." This approach does two important things. It acknowledges the behavior honestly. It invites explanation without accusation. By doing this, you avoid jumping to conclusions while still honoring what you observe. Ultimately, believing in behavior helps you stay aligned with truth, while assuming positive intent helps you stay connected to people. One keeps you wise, the other keeps you kind. And when you combine both, you create space for deeper understanding, stronger relationships, and more meaningful communication.